Some drama building on Capitol Hill here and a very likely government shutdown later on. We've heard from every principal player, save the President of the United States, who has tweeted on the subject, pointing the finger at Democrats who are stubborn. Those same Democrats led by Chuck Schumer pointing the finger back at the president, who bragged about this being his government shutdown, and he happily embraced that. Charlie Gasparino here on the fallout from all of this. Sir.
Well, I think the fallout's mainly baked into the market. I mean, of all the things I think the traders are worried about, this is kind of like on the lower level in this sense. They're worried about interest rates, or I would put trade up top, worried about interest rates, particularly raising rates on the short end and at the same time unwinding the balance sheet, which means long-term rates go up. Worried about that with a trade war, with a tariff war.
This is the kind of stuff they've sadly gotten used to.
Yeah, but
unless it drags on.
The Trump sort of volatility factor is something that they're getting sick of. And I think the president, who likes to tout the market, should take a deep breath and realize that he is now a threat to the market in his behavior. And like, if you're going to do some of the things he does, and I mean, listen, he has every right to pick his own defense secretary. Let's be real clear.
Right.
I'm sure Obama went through a bunch of them, right?
Three.
Leon Panetta was one of them, and but it's the way you do it. And what happened here wasn't like he just fired the guy. The guy found out in the middle of the night that there was a major change in foreign policy, which he wasn't involving troops, that he wasn't really consulted on, and he says, I'm out. And that
You're talking about the president's decision to withdraw our troops from Syria.
Yeah,
and after he goes ahead and meets with Mattis, commits to getting our troops out of Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's volatile. It's not the way you're supposed to run government. And listen, you could be a Trumpian and say, listen, I love this. It's great for it's great because he's mixing things up. Okay, but there's a lot of people that don't think it's great because they worry that suppose we run into something really bad. Does this guy have the fortitude to deal with that if he's this volatile on the little things? And that's what markets are saying. And, you can agree. Listen, I'm going to get a million emails from these dopes saying, you're this, you're that, and never Trumper. I'm just telling you what markets, what they say.
So they're concerned that there's the volatility and the fact that the president's all over the map on some of these issues. It's part of the noise out there. He's not reassuring them, right?
He is not reassuring markets, particularly people who liked his policies going in. And, listen, I don't think any investor is saying we need, that his corporate tax cut was problematic. They love that. It gives companies more money. They can do stock buybacks. I don't think any investor is sitting out there saying deregulation's bad. What they don't like is they don't like trade wars, which is always, I don't care how many times on this network people will say that tariffs don't have a cost. They do. I don't care who the person is. Ignore them. Don't take market advice from them because it's bad. For markets, it's generally bad for the economy, at least according to recent history, like the last 200 years. That's bad.
Unless you win your point, right?
I'm just saying it's bad. It's bad. And, and his volatility is not good either because it makes it sound like he's crazy and he doesn't know he can't handle a real situation. And Mattis is probably one of the last guys you want to leave the administration as well.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, he's a pretty... not an ideologue, he's never, doesn't talk out of turn. He does his job. He does it well. You want people like that in major positions, and we lost him now.
Mad Dog is going away. You are our Mad Dog.
I know. And the market, listen, I've talked up the market.
You have. You cut those losses in half.